Jackie Chambers, lead guitarist with the legendary British rockers Girls' School, and of course Denise Dufort. Is that the right way to say your name?
It's Dufort, actually.
Oh, splendid, marvellous.
Yeah.
Of course, legendary drummer. So, thank you very much for taking a bit of your evening away and giving it to Rockulus Maximus. Thank you very much for that.
No worries.
First of all, Jackie, if that's okay with your good self, just wondering, you're sort of the newest member of Girls' School. I mean, you've been with them, is it since 1999?
Right, still the new girl after 13 years.
13 years, goodness gracious. Time flies when you're having fun.
It really does.
But what was it like, sort of joining like an established lineup of a band that had such a high profile?
It's funny, a lot of people ask me that, but it's motley crew, this lot. Well, kind of, I was mates with them anyway, so it kind of seemed inevitable in a way. Kim were always trying to get me to join. I sort of met with them about 95 or something like that. And Kelly wanted out of the band even back then, and we were all hanging out, going to gigs together and parties together and things like that, and I don't know, they just said, do you want to join? I was like, I've never played lead guitar in my life, but teach me, and all right then. As blasé as that really was, and it just kind of happened. Oh, it was great. I mean, the very first gig I did, it was in Luton. And of course, I was thinking, just for the gig, it was going to be like a nice warm-up gig, gently wear me in, as it were, introduce me to the band. I turns up at Luton, and there's like, straight to a radio interview live on air.
Oh.
And then they were filming the whole gig. I was like, I was terrified. Like a rabbit in headlights. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on?
Oh, crumbs.
Because, of course, the band profile at that point wasn't as high. It was, 99. But the first gig I was supposed to do was going to be Wacken in 99, and I said, please, Kelly, I cannot do that as my first gig. You do that. There's only going to be 30,000 people there, so you do it.
Yeah, too right.
I'll do the little one first. And then turn over and there's like TV and, oh dear. Fun. So it's been like that all the way, so it's been a lot of fun, yeah. Got to see a bit of the world, hang out with the girls, play with some of my favourite bands. Can't complain, really.
Are there any sort of punk bands that you'd love to actually kind of get up on stage and jam with, or are pretty much all the classic punk bands kind of dead and gone now? I
mean, my favourite bands were like Killing Joke. I used to love Lords of the New Church as well back in the day.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
Just kind of post-punk, I suppose, but yeah. But I don't know, so many bands. I mean, Ramones, that's one of the best ones, obviously.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, it's a shame that it's just never going to happen now, is it? Yeah. I think there's only one left.
I think as well. Loads. You could list off all the bands, all the punk festivals, and loved it. Absolutely loved it.
do you think there's I mean, this is probably a really stupid question, but do you think there's any kind of punk rock in Girls' School's sound? I mean, over the years, you've got to admit that there's been sort of, I don't know, you've dabbled with different styles, but do you think there's a lot of punk rock in Girls' School?
Yeah, I think there's a real crossover. In fact, yeah, because when we were at the tour of quite a few years ago, I remember all the posters said Girls' School UK Punk Band. Yeah. And I was like, we're not a punk band, but then I thought, actually, we played in a few places. I remember particularly Leipzig in Germany, East Germany. And we turned up in this town, I'm not joking, it just looked like we'd gone back in time into 1977. There were all these punks walking around with mohawks, perfect mohawks, and all in their Sex Pistols T-shirts and Ramones T-shirts. Yeah. And it really was a punk rock gig, wasn't it? They were all pogoing. It was bizarre. Brilliant. So I thought, okay, we've seen this kind of crossover, a little bit like Motorhead as well. They're punk as well, really.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rock bands do crossover.
Now, what can we expect from Girls' School? What are we going to be hearing from you over the next few months or maybe the next couple of years? What's happening?
Well, we've been actually out and about this year, done quite a lot of festivals in places we've never been before. We went to Brazil this year, we went to Turkey this year, Canada this year. We've been all over this year doing festivals, and I think the next year is going to be the same. We're definitely out. Well, we've got Hard Rock Hell in December. And Livewire in December this year. We've got 2 gigs in Italy already in January, and it looks like we're going to be doing quite a lot of festivals. A few are starting to get confirmed. I know Hellfest.
And Belarus in February.
Hellfest in France with Black Sabbath this year, which should be good.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
Singing.
Yeah, with Ozzy singing.
That's going to be a laugh. So it looks like we're going to be doing a bit the same as last year, really. More promotion.
What's your opinion on the sort of Black Sabbath reunion that was announced last week? I mean, how do you feel about that? You got any opinions?
Yeah, quite exciting. I think it's going to be great.
And I really want to... We've done loads of gigs and tours with Black Sabbath with all different lineups.
Yeah.
But we've never done a tour or a gig with Ozzy, and I really want to.
It'd be great. It'd be great to see him.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and do you have a preference? I mean, when you sort of think about the Aussie, sort of Aussie lineup, do you ever sort of make comparisons with when Ronnie James Dio was vocalist, or do you feel that they were almost separate bands?
Yeah, pretty much.
They were separate bands.
Totally different voice, aren't they, really?
Yeah. Regarding the latest album that came out earlier this year, it's Hit and Run Revisited.
Yeah.
30 years later. I mean, how do you feel about sort of revisiting an old classic album from 1981?
Can't remember Sod Off. It was weird, doing it all again, because none of us had played half those songs for 30 years, So we had to learn them again.
Yeah.
A lot of those songs we do live anyway, but the other half of the songs we didn't. It was just really strange playing them again, learning them again, and then recording them. But it all turned out really well, and we've had a good response. But it was very strange doing it again without Kelly. Obviously.
Yes,
but
yeah.
She did a fantastic job, so it was brilliant.
So as far as we were talking about contributions before we played the new version of Yeah Right from your 2011 revisited version of Hit and Run, you've played sort of alongside Ronnie James Dio, Doro Pesh as another great artist, and Lemmy, of course. Are there anyone else out there that you're sort of thinking it would be great to hook up with them and get them to sort of jam a track with you?
Rammstein!
Yeah, Rammstein.
we both love Rammstein, us too. We'd love to play gigs with them or do something with them.
Yeah, I mean, live, they're pretty awesome, aren't they? They got the whole...
amazing live. We've seen 3 or 4 times now, but brilliant live band, and I love the records as well.
Yeah,
so.
Brilliant band.
CDs, sorry, not records.
Album CDs.
No, vinyl's making a comeback,
That's true. We got a vinyl out with Hit and Run this time.
Yeah.
I mean, because you've gone back and sort of refreshed and revitalised your 1981 Hit and Run album, is there a chance that you're going to sort of look at your back catalogue and go, you know what?
And we've sort of joked about that. We said, well, when we get to Legacy again, do you think we should retire? Each year bring it out as that 30th anniversary.
I'd like to redo the Demolition album.
That's not going to happen.
And play Dirty.
Yeah, I mean, that's really not going to happen. We actually put the song Demolition on this version, obviously, as
a bonus track,
yeah. A bonus track, but we're not really intending to do all of them like that.
No.
I think it's just Hit and Run, particularly because of the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, anniversary.
Yeah.
And because it was the sort of most known album